All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the alaracanfieldshow, the Awakened Happiness Now global series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And we are going to be talking to my good friend, Angie LaRue, about the Pleiadean Energy Codeums Transmissions. And some of what we're going to discuss has to do with the Pleiadians' role and interest with humanity, how we can use our star brother and sisters' assistance to heal, evolve, and thrive, how energy sets and patterns assist us in these times to continue our ascension of consciousness, and more. And Angie's going to be taking some live caller questions, I'm assuming, and we're going to be doing some processes, and we're going to share a little bit of a video as well. So for those of you who don't know Angie, she was on our show last season, and we had a wonderful time. And so she's back with us, and I'm so glad. She is a master Crystologist, a healer, an ordained Reverend, a medical intuitive, medical innovator, a psychic, a teacher, a Reiki master, and manufacturer. And on December 9th, 2011, in the afternoon, Angie had a radical, spontaneous awakening of consciousness while going about an ordinary Hawaiian day as a professional artist and housewife. And it happened on a business call while on her way into the kitchen to get a drink of water. So within 3 months, her life in Hawaii abruptly ended, and she was thrust onto the road to learn with spirit as her teacher with only 2 suitcases. She was reeling from the full explosion of psychic abilities and the sudden awareness of subtle energy, full-blown empathic skills with heavy cording to many others, and the ability to see multidimensionally, which had turned her life into utter chaos, dissolving her previous life and 22-year marriage in a rapid domino effect. I'm sure you can imagine what that would be like. And so now her service includes many offerings, energy blueprints, and ways to help people evolve their consciousness. And she helps people increase their love quota and move from 3D awareness to 5D awareness. And Angie is a healer of the body, mind, and spirit. She also manufactures tools and items to assist those on the path to higher levels of consciousness. So I'm so glad that Angie is back with us to share about these Pleiadean Energy Codeums Transmissions and more. First time on video, so we're going to see what that's like as well. So please join me in welcoming Angie to the show. Angie, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. Yeah, it's great to be with all of you. I love the work that we're doing. I love that we are able to reach out and create community and tribe and light and love across the world, really,
Absolutely.
So many of you wonderful show hosts are able to attract people from many countries, and it creates this wonderful feeling of unity, which is so important right now. And, a lot of times the people around us are not, vibrating at the same frequency level we are, and we can end up feeling alone. And so when we gather together like this, we're a tribe. Right?
Exactly. Tribe, family, community. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're my family. All across the world.
And we're not alone, right? So in case I didn't say it, because I don't think I did, if you do, so Angie, you're going to be taking live caller questions, right?
I can do that, yeah.
Yeah, because that's always so much fun. So if you'd like to ask Angie a question, you can raise your hand. I would say raise your hand, but of course you can also type your question in the chat when we get to that point. So let's talk about, since you were on the show last time, you've created all these new videos as well, right? With these Pleiadean Energy Codeums. So there's a lot that has been going on, but I want to talk a little bit about, let's start at the beginning a little bit. And we might have talked about this in the last show. I forget when it was now. It's like so long ago. Last season is like a lifetime ago. So how did you first get involved with the Pleiadians? Can you share that with us a little bit?
Yeah, it was really unusual. It was a very unusual event. I was in the awakening process, and God had been working with me and showing me, what reality was, which caused a huge restructuring in my brain, because I had a lot of beliefs that I'd been taught, which weren't serving me. And that was a long list. And I had a gentleman come to me for a healing. And he said that he had attachments or implants. He had implants. And I asked what he meant by that. And he said they were, extraterrestrial implants, and these ones he did not want. And could I remove them? And, my instinctive thought was, I don't think I believe in that. Right. And I was like, just look, you know how to look in the body, you know how to scan the body. Don't assume you know the answer. Look. And so I did. And I actually found two to my extreme shock. And yeah, you can't deny reality when you see it, when you experience it firsthand, right? And so that overwrote my belief, which had previously been there, which said, no, this isn't real, this can't happen. So I scheduled him and he came in and I did a removal on those. And during the removal, I discovered a third one. And psychically, I could see it. And he had his uvula, which is that little dangle down thing at the back of the throat, went way down his throat. Like, I don't know how he didn't gag on it, how it didn't kick off the gag reflex. But I didn't have time. I'd been in surgery for 45 minutes and I was starting to fatigue. And so we were going to have to reschedule that. So I brought him out. His wife was there and I asked her first, did you know he has an unusually long uvula? And she's like, no. And so I asked him, I was like, can you open your mouth? I need to check what I saw psychically. So he did. And it actually went down his throat and disappeared. It's remarkable. And I told him, I had done the removal and then I found, and as soon as they said found, his face changed and another voice came in and said, hello, Angela, I'm Osan, and I'm a 12th dimensional Pleiadian. And there's some information we would like you to know before you continue speaking. Can we give you this information? And I said, yes. And he went, and I was like, oh, this is coming in telepathically. So I dropped in, I received it. And basically it was a soul agreement that the gentleman who came to me as a client had with the Pleiadians. This was his 12th dimensional future self. So he's the 3rd dimensional past self. And he basically agreed to be a microphone for his future self. And I had found the microphone. And so he was a channel, and not just for Osan, but for a number of beings. It was kind of an open mic, actually. And so I was like, okay, this is not my business. And so I didn't tell him about it. And that began, he knew he was a medium. So, but that began a development of trust between Osan and I and the rest of the beings that sometimes come through this gentleman. And so that's how eventually, I began being invited to these events where the Osan would come through and deliver the codums. And then I eventually got permission to use the codums on other people and give them to students in the Inner Passage Mystery School. They actually get the numbers. So that's kind of how that all began. It was
I don't think we talked about that last time, but I would have remembered that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that was really cool.
It was rather remarkable, and it definitely repatterned my brain. And my brain quickly moved into, actually, yes, there are extraterrestrials. Yes, there's other worlds that are inhabited. Yes, there's advanced races. Yes, life is everywhere. After that initial shock, my brain adjusted pretty quickly to that new reality and working in with that new reality. So,
Wow, awesome. And so, people might be wondering what the Pleiadian Codeums are and how they work.
Yeah, well, they are mathematical formulas, basically, which create energy patterns, which we can put into our body and our field, which make alterations to our vibration. So, for example, there's a 7-digit codon that just opens all the chakras and gets them flowing, right? So codums, like when you say the number 1 or the number 2, that's actually a vibration, right? It's vibrating. And so we're creating these vibrational changes within ourselves and our auric field. And codums pretty much cover mind, body, spirit. And as we adjust certain things. Like imagine an old-fashioned clock, like the Big Ben clock, and all those different gears and how they all fit together.
Mhm.
So when we make a change in our psychology, that opens us up to maybe receive more spiritual energy. Or if we make a change in our thinking process, it opens our body up to healing, right? So all these just different gears are fitting together in a better way. So they're actually I do a lot of healing modalities, and I'm a psychic and a medical intuit, etc. And the thing I really like about the Codeums, because I can do all of this using other modalities, and I'm a Crystologist, and I have certain crystals I love for particular things. But what I really like about the Pleiadean Codeums is how fast they are. It is fast. And you know, pre-awakening, I would have never believed that something like this could have happened. And now I actually just admire and respect it for the extreme efficiency of it. It's very efficient.
And I remember when we worked together with the Codeums, it was so powerful. I was so surprised by how powerful and intense the energy was working with the Codeums. Yeah, it was amazing. I don't think I said to you at that time, I don't think I ever felt something this powerful before.
Yeah, fast and powerful, and yet attuned to the human body. So it's powerful, but not shocking.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I could handle it. You know, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Right, I'm still here, so I could handle it. But yes, it was quite impressive. I was quite impressed. So when you had when this happened, you didn't even know about the star people, right? You weren't even desiring to work with the star people at that time.
No. And it really just kind of opened a floodgate. I've ended up with so many experiences since then. You know, a lot of them we probably don't want to talk about live on air, but it's just readjusted my entire paradigm of all the different fractals of consciousness that came from God, right? It's remarkable.
Yeah, absolutely. And we all can also work with, the star people to assist us in our healing, our evolution, and thriving in our lives. Right?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And so that's a good question. How can we, other than just calling them forward, invoking them, etc., how can we work with our star brothers and sisters to assist us?
And let me drop in for a second, because what you've asked is the traditional way, is most people would, call on their energy or invite them in.
Yeah.
So there's an intention that is set. And in fact, there was somebody who kind of the MUFON group who, studies and catalogs and has a huge library on extraterrestrial events. And a lot of them have had them firsthand and whatnot. What they say to do is, if you really want to meet your star brothers and sisters, make a big poster, make a, one of those movie cutout posters and put it in your front lawn, here, here, I want to meet you. And keep that energy active in your thoughts. Keep that request active in your thoughts. And then be aware what happens. It may come in dreams. It may happen on the astral. It may just be a very interesting, unusual person who shows up in your life and makes intense eye contact. And you get a vibration of, oh, this is different. This is unusual. And, explore that, yeah, there's just so many different ways. For me, they basically walked in the front door, but there's many ways it can happen, and be open and inviting and have your heart filled with love. That attracts the frequency of the ones that you want to work with. So whatever energy is in your heart, in your mind, those are the ones that are going to resonate with you. And, if they're in the neighborhood, show up.
They'll show up. Awesome. It's just, that was just a question as an aside, right?
Mhm.
So coming back to these codons, right, these transmissions, and we're going to share a little bit of a snippet of one of the videos, but you haven't done videos before. This is the first time. So what makes these transmissions so much more valuable now that they're being delivered by video?
Well, so, because I had done transmissions just on MP4s.
Mhm.
When we brought it together for the video, I spent 28 years as an artist. Now, admittedly, to learn how to make these videos, I had to, get video editing material and learn how to use it, learn how to use the programs. But it allowed me to bring forward a little bit of the artistic, creative side that I have. And then also I brought in a couple special people, and these are the voices that you'll hear, kind of as prompts for the activate, enhance, amplify, expand. And both of these are very high energy people. One of them holds kind of the divine feminine mother energy.
Mhm.
Amazing. It's amazing energy to sit in. And the other gentleman on his soul path is working with kind of this very high level cosmic wizard kind of energy where he can work with very large spaces, very large, like, a town, a city, a state, energy lines, grids.
Right.
And he's been working on that for multiple of lifetimes. So I bring in these two amazing energy people that help hold the foundation of that, along with the orgone generator crystal biobed. So we're having layers upon layers upon layers of this purified, rarefied, amazing energy in which the codums are delivered in. And so, I realized the first couple times people will watch the videos and really enjoy it. And then after that, they're probably going to be deep in state and no longer, watch the videos anymore after the first few times. But if you've had a hard day, things went sideways, you're struggling, you can't get to silence of the mind, the videos are kind of lyrical and beautiful in a way that helps your mind to calm down and relax. And especially if you're a visual person, you can really use the visuals to calm your central nervous system. And then they're underpinned with some very beautiful music, and the music's different on all of them. And so, if you're an auditory based person, you can, use the movements within the music to calm yourself down. And so and then there's the actual codum. So we just have all these layers and layers of things coming together to help you shift from one reality into another reality, back into your sovereignty, back into your neutrality, and back into love again. So, it's the accumulation of bringing all this together. And I want you guys to know I spent many hours, per video, which is they're 10 to 15 minutes long each. 8 to 16 hours went into producing it. So they're worth love. So they're dripping with my love on top of all of it.
Oh, I can just imagine. And that's the thing. It's like, doing videos is very time consuming anyways, especially with the editing and everything. So I don't know how you did that with everything else you're doing. So that's like kudos to you.
Thank you.
And then I want to talk before we actually, watch one of them. I just want to talk a little bit about energy sets, energy sets and energy patterns, because, how long do those last? I mean, I still am seeing, one of my patterns that's been going on for a long, long time. It's like, all right, enough, right? So how, how long do they normally last?
So 7 to 9 days is very realistic. So let me explain how energy works, and we're going to get a little nerdy. Okay.
Awesome.
So when we bring in a new energy, it overrides the current energy, and then it starts fading off. As we sleep, that energy starts integrating. Okay. So, for 4 or 5 days, we notice that we think about life different. We have a different in-body feeling. We have a different, heart expansion or alignment or whatever it is. But after time, we're still getting overwritten by life, social groups we want in, the news, the this, the that, and that's a new energy that's coming in, and it's kind of chipping away at what we just did. And so after a while, things kind of, start neutralizing back out. And so that's when we want to do them again. We want to do the codums because we want to keep, whatever those energy sets are that we're selecting more alive in our system. And this is, this is true with Reiki energy or healing energy or downloads. Nothing is a silver bullet. But if we keep exposing ourselves to it again and again, we start developing a new baseline because it starts overriding, our thinking processes. And if we bring to that the intention of whatever, I want to greet each morning with song. We'll just use that for example. If that's our intention, we're moving more and more and more and more towards that, and more towards being able to hold the frequency where that becomes the reality. So just as, school education, parent, family, friends, society, governments programmed our brains, we are using this to deprogram our brains and put back in there what we want. And so the more exposure we get to that, the more realistic that is becoming. And eventually we're creating new neural pathways. Yeah. We're carving new, paths of being, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally agree. I'm doing some neuroscience courses this year. I did one in the summer, doing one now. So I totally get it. It's like, yep, it is a thing. And it is nerdy, yes, but it's so fascinating how our brains actually work, how those neural pathways are created, etc. It's so fascinating. So I love that you're, and it's about retraining our brains, but also in training us to who and what we would like to be, right? Who and what we would like to experience, right? What we would like our set point to be, right? And training us to that higher level.
Right. Yeah. And in some cases, it's remembering what we were as well. Yeah. Like, a lot of his experience, extreme joy as a child, right? And I use that example of waking up singing because I had a brother who did. He sang every morning. As soon as he started waking up, he started singing, right?
Wow, beautiful.
So there was this natural natural joy that existed as a child. And the weight of the world kind of changes that for us as we age, and year by year, day by day, it starts changing. And so in some cases, what we're doing is we're trying to return to that natural effervescent, effortless joy that we knew as a child. And that's actually one of the stepstones on the journey of consciousness. That's kind of the way upper end when you start hitting peace and indwelled joy. It's a return again to to that.
Returning
natural
to who we truly are. Yeah, I agree totally. Okay, so do you want to take some questions, or do you want to share the video, or what do you want to do?
Let's take some questions.
All right, so like I said at the beginning, you can raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question, or you can type your question in the chat. We'll see what comes up. So we're going to start off with Evie. You want to unmute yourself?
Yeah. Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Hi. What's your question?
Okay. So I'm the first one. So I'm not even sure what questions Angie wants to take, how to phrase a question. So can you just give me some guidance in terms of what we'd like to answer or how?
Yeah, that's a great start. Yes. So Angie, what types of questions would you like to have to answer?
So I'm the founder of the Inner Passage Mystery School, and I have students who ask all sorts of questions. So hopefully I can have a good answer, and I certainly have enough truth and honesty that if I can't answer it, I'll tell you. So just go ahead and shoot for it, Evie.
Anything you want, Evie. There you go.
Oh, great. Thank you. So, okay. So I kind of know that I have this calling, whatever it is, but there seems to be kind of starting there and just completing it so that at least there can be some, how do you say, that's sort of, okay, I'm there. I am actually seeing the outcome of my efforts. And I know it's there. It's not like I don't know, but I just want to see. So is there any like hindrance in terms of from me, like my chakras, my lower chakras, or what is it that is not allowing me to actually touch it, reach it, and start getting, seeing the outcome?
Yeah. So what I'm getting, Evie, is that you want to engage your bottom chakras more. I'm seeing a hesitancy where the idea exists up here, but it's not really moving into the body. You're not taking the next step on it, right? You're not physically engaging whatever your next step is. So you really want to, bring in, the Dantian or sacral chakra is the creation and the passion for moving forward. And then the solar plexus is that doing, that willpower. And that's all I'm getting for you is it's just making the commitment and actually taking the next step. I don't see any blocks or anything. It's just that your mind is not ready to move out. It's wanting to stay in the thinking about it phase and not in the doing. So move into your doingness.
Okay. So that's all that's required. No, nothing but just doing.
Start.
So
Just
what
start.
is the next step? What does the next step look like?
Okay, so I'm seeing that you need to write down an action plan. So if you know where the result is, where you want to be, you can back engineer that to figure out what your next step is. Or if you don't think that way, just start. If I want to get here, what's the thing I need to do right now? And it can be just a little thing, but start that thing.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Awesome.
All
Thank you,
right.
Evie.
Thank you so much, Alara.
And that is great wisdom for everybody who wants to move forward. So thank you for that. All right, we're going to go to Caroline. You want to unmute yourself, Caroline?
Hi, beautifuls. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Angie. Thank you. I wasn't going to ask a question today, and I kept getting, raise your hand, raise your hand. I didn't even know what I was going to ask, but as I'm listening to you, what's coming to mind is when I became a Reiki master. How old am I now? Almost 60. So
ages ago.
yeah, I know exactly, right? Almost 20 years ago. I floated just in the atmosphere, and I heard you're a Pleiadian, but I've been told otherwise throughout this show and readings and so forth. And I've never really had any other contact since. Now, when I meditate, so there's two things that they want me to mention here. When I meditate and I come back to, there's such a big world in my body, like swirl, that I have trouble catching my breath. It's so they're bringing both of these things in for me to ask. So there we go. Thank you.
Okay, so I think I understand your questions. My first response is you're human right now. I mean, yeah, we've all been spirits and we've incarnated into many bodies and many species, and we can bring forward some of that memory and some of what we did. But ultimately, we're human right now. We chose to be human right now. So, you could be from literally all the star lineages that anybody has seen in you. And that's like our baby book, right? But now we're human, and all the action part and the experience part and all of that, it is here and now, right? So the whirling, the energy in the body as I connect with you, I feel that. Woo, so exciting. That's juicy. That is really juicy. And I'm getting there's two things. You can just be in it. It's your center. It's a remembrance of what you are as an eternal spirit. Or you can use that energy as a fuel source to create and do and shine more light in this world. It's completely up to you. Is that you are capable of attracting and producing a whole lot of energy, a whole lot of fuel, and you can use that for yourself, for others, however you would like. It's a beautiful gift, and use it as you desire.
So what would they suggest? Like, it catches my breath, and sometimes I cannot come back to inside my body, and I can't breathe. So there's yeah. So sometimes it feels like, as a human, it feels a little bit fearful because I literally can't catch my breath.
Oh, that's exciting though.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
I mean, like,
okay.
when you're a teenager and you first see that amazing, handsome guy, and that first second when you fall in love and you can't hardly breathe and you can't, the excitement, the aliveness, right? Oh my goodness, don't be afraid of it. Love it. Love it. Love that.
Okay.
Still feel life that viscerally. What a gift.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you, beautiful.
All right, Tanya, you want to unmute yourself?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I was absent for a few weeks. Sorry, I have a lot of changes in my life. And like in the beginning, it was scary, but now actually I understand that it's for the better. And I kind of feel like I'm stepping back into my power, which I gave away like about 15 years ago. But it's still this belief of not being good enough creeps in sometimes and makes me worry about things and about how I'm gonna, do things and earn and provide for myself and my son, and like a lot of stuff that is just everyday life stuff, So I'm kind of, is there anything I can do to clear completely this I'm not good enoughness and kind of fully step into my power that I believe I have?
I'm going to just say really quickly before Angie goes. Whenever somebody says, can you clear completely? No, nobody can clear completely. It's a process. Okay. And you even said sometimes you get into that fear, which is great that you said sometimes, not all the time, right? And you are going through a major change in your life. So be gentle with yourself. Okay, please. Yeah. So be gentle. Be kind to yourself. All right, Angie, go ahead.
Yeah. That's, I'm getting, it's a choice that you make every day, right? And if you consciously do that in the morning, if you consciously decide, I've got my own back. I can handle anything that life throws at me. I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I'm adaptable, and I'm versatile, and I've got this. And if you reaffirm that to yourself every day, and that's how I language it, but in your own language, you're programming yourself for that day to be successful, right? Now, the world is always deprogramming us. Okay, you're not enough, you're not worthy, you're not this, you're not that, right? And so that's what we're up against energetically every single day. And many of us have gone through our life without ever realizing that. And we slowly lose our edge, and we slowly lose our potential, and we slowly begin to not believe in ourselves. So you just want to grab the reins and take your destiny back again. And you could do that and reprogram yourself just before you go to bed at night as well. And it's just a choice we make every day and throughout the day, and become the witness of your thoughts. And when you hear yourself in your mind saying, oh, I can't do that, go, nope, that's not what I meant. I can do that. And I'm going to figure out the way. I can do this. I can do this. And when you have that, where I just feel overwhelmed, and I just feel like I just can't take another thing today. Have a little something that you believe in, right? That can help you. And for me, I'll turn to the codums. It's like, okay, my brain's completely out of control right now. I'm going to go listen to, my favorite codum set, and I'm going to reprogram my brain while I hold my favorite crystal. There we go. I'm marshaling, and I'm bringing in my angels and my guides. And it's just that kind of choice. We have to, it's a free will zone, right? The third dimension is this amazing playground, and we can literally create anything we want, and we do that just one step at a time. So just stick with it, Tanya. You are an amazing, powerful, eternal spirit who can do absolutely anything you want, and no silver bullets, but day by day. You know, statues are built one chip stone at a time, right?
And, you know,
Thank you.
one of the things I do, because I saw this last week, I guess it was, I was going through a thing. I don't even know what the thing was now. So then I was like, you know what? I need to take a break because my mind was going, my emotions were going, everything was going. I was like, so I went to Netflix, put on Big Bang Theory, watched a few episodes. I laughed, my energy changed completely, right? And the thing is, you know, that not being good enough fear, I don't have that anymore. As you were talking about that, I checked in with myself. I was like, I don't have that anymore. I used to have it, but I don't have it anymore. And part of that for me is about, as I do stuff, I, you know, realize I am good enough. I can do this. I can do that. Look at all the things I've done, etc. Right. So sometimes I need that proof to remind myself of, look at who you are. Look at what you've done. Look at what you've been through. Look at what you've experienced. And you're still here and you're still going strong and blah, blah, blah. Right. So you're doing, sorry, go ahead.
And recognize your triggers. There's sometimes our energy is lower if we're sick, if we're in pain. You know, sometimes the full moons or different astrological events, our energy goes down, and during that time it's much harder to control our inner beliefs. And so just or hungry, that's a big one, that'll catch you during the day. You'll notice your mood goes downhill when you're hungry. So watch for your triggers, and if you find your belief system in yourself dropping low, go, okay, what do I need? You know, am I in pain? Do I have a headache? Am I hungry? Am I sugar crashing? You know, are we, you know, on the new moon, or are we on the full moon and it's blowing up this energy I have right now to be bigger than it is? So check your triggers. I mean, there's a really good chance that there's other influence that's flaring up that feeling. And if you can catch those triggers earlier, you don't go as deep off the other side.
Yes. Totally agree. Thank you so much, Angie. Thank you, Alara. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tanya. Good luck. Take it easy, okay?
Thank you.
One step at a time. I know it's tough, but you can do it. You can do it, and we're here to support you, okay? Girl power. Yes, we got this. There's a question from Abby in the chat. Could you please shed some light on my binging addiction to sugary snacks? Oh, I have that too. Whether it be more of a physical microbiome issue or some other energy. I'm laughing at myself. I have a sugary addiction thing, you know, so.
You know, I've actually noticed I'm developing the same thing, which is interesting. It's never been an issue before. And I'm really clear on what mine is. I know exactly what it is. And after 30 years of marriage, I am single right now. And this is a whole new thing for my system to adapt to. You know, there's nobody to snuggle with at night. I wake up alone in the morning. You know, I have something big that happened during the day. I want to share it. You know, just all of that. Oh, there's not that there. And so what I find is at the end of the day, when it's been somebody not there all day long, I'm now tired. It's that, you know, what we were just talking with Tanya about, you know, starting to, you know, dip off, my energy's not as high. And that's when I want my chocolate. And I'm very clear that it's directly connected to, I now want to snuggle and have that feel good, warm feeling, right?
Yeah.
And it's not Mr. Perfect, it's chocolate now. So, you know, Abby, I would encourage you to identify exactly what the missing thing is that's being replaced by the sugary thing. And you can certainly look into your microbiome as well, and that does happen, and it is happening to people. But a lot of times it actually begins with a psychological hunger. So figure out what that is. I would start there, and I hope that helps you.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Abby. Because now I'm gonna look at myself and say, okay, why do I have that sugary thing going on? I mean, I know for me it's energy, right? So at the end of the day, I'm tired, or, you know, and I just need a little pick me up. If I'm studying a lot, because I'm studying a lot, then I just need a little energy to pick me up. So for me, it's an energy thing, I think, but I will look into it some more.
It's always good to question, and it's always good to question deeper or hold the question. Just let it float in the air, like for the whole day, and just say,
Yeah.
Spirit, you let me know, what am I not seeing? And
Yeah.
see if it comes in at some point during the day. You suddenly have a flash inside.
That's true. That is true. Ask the question, be willing to receive the answer, an answer, not your answer, but an answer.
Right.
Sarah, you want to unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hello, dear.
Hi.
I have a question. It's a pretty deep question. I'm of Pleiadian Andromedan descent, I am told. And for the longest time, I just don't want to be here. I want to go home. I keep doing my work. I'm exhausted. I know there's some fear in the way for the next step. I'm supposed to live to be very old. I still have work to do, but I'm just tired. And when I was young, I had my two closest cousins commit suicide. And I thought, well, you can't do that because you have to go back and slog through everything that you did before. And I've really, really had a lot of trauma. I wrote a book about it, which I have yet to publish, and that's a little bit part of the trauma. Now, mostly I've shed it. I feel very equanimitable most of the time, except if I don't get like 10 hours sleep. I'm just exhausted. Do we have to complete our mission?
No, I mean, you will eventually, right? Just maybe not this incarnation, but there's no have to. There's no have to. God loves unconditionally, and most missions we don't get completed in this, whatever we're learning, whatever we're working on is so big anyway, we can't complete it in a single lifetime. So there's no have to. God's not a have to kind of creator.
Well, I know that I've worked on it for many lifetimes, but I have been told by many different profound clairvoyants that, this is it. I'm wrapping it up this time. And maybe that's why I'm hesitant to go forward. But I just wondered if you might have any insight from me or a particular codum that might help me just, get over it and get on with the work and be in joy, which is what I seek.
I'm getting that you kind of took on a heaping, helping plateful this life, and you deliberately did that knowing you wouldn't get through all of it, but that if you took on a whole bunch, you would get a lot done. And there's a sense that your soul is actually very proud of how much has been done and how far you've come by setting that bar so very high. And the big thing I'm getting is relax and be in joy now. Like, this is the time that it's okay if you stop striving and pushing so much, but instead just embrace joy, embrace the moment of being alive, and it changes the seasons, the day, the birds singing, like being present and not so much in your mind being driven, but being present. That's what's really coming through now.
I've been doing more of that, like noticing the sun on the trees. And I mean, I've always done that, but lately it's like the earth is beautiful and you are here as a soul to experience this miraculous place. And, just more music and everything else. And yes, I appreciate the permission to.
That's what I'm getting. And I'm getting that your soul is actually quite satisfied with what has been done this life. And there's also a recognition from your soul that the body is getting tired and the mind is getting tired. And the sense of, and that's okay, because we can still do this other thing. We can still be in the moment of now, deeply in love with the existence, right? Like just really enjoying every aspect that you can and let the pressure off of yourself. You've driven yourself a lot and accomplished a lot. And now sit in the afterglow. Yeah, I'm getting that that's perfectly fine.
Okay, I'm also getting take some rest. And when it's time to do something else, the energy will come.
Yeah.
Okay.
Refill the well. One thing that happens with binge artist, which I was kind of a binge artist, is I would produce 20 or 30 extremely high quality paintings over the course of a few years, and then I would burn out. The art would leave me and I didn't want to paint anymore. And so I'd go off and do something else for a couple of years and grow and learn. And then I would come back and my style of painting would change. It would get a lot deeper because I had broadened my experience and had more to talk about in a painting and a new way to express that painting. And then I'd binge again and I'd produce, 40, 50, 60 paintings and then quit for 4 years, right? And let that well refill.
Yeah.
And, there's something about our personal seasons of life of when we can be extremely creative. And it has to do with letting the well fill back in again, right? And then we can just go like a Roman candle, and we don't want to sleep because there's so much we've got to get out, and not pushing those cycles, just letting it happen naturally. And a lot of that does have to do with enough sleep, good diet, and exercise.
Yeah, I do all of those. And I also completely switched disciplines. Like I moved from what I'm doing in clay to I moved to wire art. And
Great.
I've always done that. Thank you. Bless you. Thank you, Laura, for calling on me.
Awesome. Thank you,
Always
Sarah.
fills my heart to talk to anyone in the community.
Yeah, thank you. And, I, as you were talking, I was like, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to just not say anything, but I have to say something. It's like, it wouldn't be me if I didn't say something when I have to say something. And the thing is, like, I get a lot of readings as well. People have told me many things over, the past 10, 11, 12, whatever years. But if it doesn't resonate with you, let it go. It doesn't matter if somebody has said you're this or you were this or that, or you come from this lineage or that lineage or this thing. What doesn't matter. How is it helping you in this lifetime now? Right. And I, like I said, I've gotten a lot of readings, and when I look back on some of them, it's like, what the heck was that? It's like that. Who was that person they were talking about? That's not me, So just always be true to you, and just know that when somebody is giving a reading of some sort, it's filtered through their lens, through their perception, through their history, through their experience as well. And your experience and their experience are never, ever going to be exactly the same, right? So I don't do many readings now because it's like, what's the point? It's like, what's the point?
We can get sidetracked because as psychics, we're connecting into one thread of your potential, one aspect of who you are. And then out of that, we get some information, but you're a lot more than that, right? Yeah. And so you can actually get really confused if you get too many readings because they're seeing all these facets, and they're all potentials, right? But they may not be a potential that you actually want to step into or even have any idea how to step into.
Yeah. So I've stopped asking people anything now unless I'm really desperate. But even then it's like, all right, this too shall pass. So I'll give myself a few days, and this intensity or this, whatever's coming up right now, it'll pass. And I'll be fine. Right. But in the past, I did enjoy getting readings a lot, but it's like, in the end, it's like, I hate to say it was a waste of time, but for me,
well, it feeds the ego. A lot of it does. And we all know that the thing that's actually causing us the most problem in our life is our own ego.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's a hungry beast. We don't really need to with another story.
Yeah. And so anytime you start going into that, just, come back to your heart space, trust your knowing, trust who you are, trust what that essence within you, trust that. And you have that, Sarah.
Yeah.
You have that connection.
I know what I'm supposed to do, and I just feel like I got permission to take a sabbatical.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nobody is telling you to do anything actually. So if you want to take a sabbatical, take
It's
one.
me. I push myself. So
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I'm the
and
same way.
it's an
I
interesting
know.
balance because some of us do need to push ourselves. That's the only way we're going to get down the road. And then
Yeah.
others of us have been overachievers so long that the one muscle we've never really developed is how to relax and enjoy life. And so,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm. So yeah, relax and enjoy life, Sarah.
all right, my grandchildren are coming to visit for a month. I'll just do them.
There you
Yay.
go.
Oh,
Perfect.
there's
Yes.
joy.
I love that. Good for you. Yes, awesome. Thank you. All right. So where were we, Angie? All right. So do you want to share the video now?
Oh, yes, let's do that. That
Let's
would
do
be
that.
lovely.
Let's see if we can do that. I'm going to mute myself for 1 second while I get it.
Yes. And so as we do the video, you will be, encouraged to say activate, enhance, amplify, expand, and I'll explain to you what those mean. So activate just means turn on the codon. It's like turn on a light switch. Activate, enhance is changing it to your unique soul signature. We're all a little bit different. We all have a little bit different essence. And so it's adjusting itself to us. Amplify is homeopathic. It starts spreading in your system, and expand takes it out into your multidimensional bodies. So the aspects of your auric field and self that don't exist specifically in the third dimension, because we don't want to make an adjustment here and it not resonate up into the upper levels, because then we end up with a confusion, right? The gears aren't fitting correctly. So that expand takes it into the totality of our being, and you'll notice how amazing that feels. And when we say activate, we're going to inhale, activate, inhale, enhance, inhale, amplify, and then you kind of feel what happens on that exhale, and then inhale, expand, and just drop into that mental silence and allow yourself to feel what happens. And it's so fun to be able to track those 4 levels of what we did.
Awesome. Let me just 1 second. Well, now they want to start barking. Really? They were totally quiet up until this point. Okay. So how long do you want to go for with it?
Well, I'll let you decide. I'm not sure when the show ends, so you just decide how much we want to do of this.
Okay. There's music on it, right?
There is.
Okay.
Yes.
So I won't be able to share it on YouTube because they're just finicky that way, but I will figure out a way to do this. So let me share sound, optimize for video clip. Okay, so let me play.
All right, so you'll want to turn up the sound.
This codon set is for enhancing ourselves. Allow yourself to relax, release, and or having faith in your life. Say with me, activate,
Activate.
enhance,
Enhance.
amplify,
Amplify.
expand.
Expand.
Hello.
Mm.
Back. I just wanted to give everybody a taste.
Hey.
How was that for everyone? What did you experience? Especially when you were saying, even within yourself in the space you're in, you were saying activate, enhance, amplify, and expand. What was going on within you? Anybody want to share? You can share in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and let us know how that was for you. I'm still feeling it. Sarah says glorious. Manisha says, wow, thank you, Angie, felt amazing. Yeah, I'm still feeling it. So it's like,
I felt a lot of joy, lots of joy.
Yay.
awesome. Good, awesome, thank you. That was just a short, 4.5 minutes. Sally says happy, awesome, good.
I love how it actually was in theme with a lot of the questions and stuff that were asked today, which I had selected it
Yeah.
before all the questions. So, but I love how it just, yeah.
Exactly, yep. No, it was great, thank you. All right, so I want to take a minute and talk about the package now that we've experienced one of the codeums on video. So now we know what you're talking about, right? Evie says, I like the freedom of the birds. Yeah, it's funny, right? I had my eyes closed for most of it, and then it's like, oh, I remember Angie said that at the beginning people might want to watch it a little bit more, so then I opened but I'm more used to like closing my eyes. It's just how I receive. Tanya says it was one of my favorite music and I loved dancing, so I totally enjoyed it. Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, and I think all of them all have dancing and nature scenes. That's a theme that goes throughout. There's also some temple scenes where people are doing, prayers and stuff like that. And candlelight is another theme. So, yeah, they're all visually, I think, yummy.
Good. Beautiful. And Arietta says, wow, so amazing. Wow, thank you. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Manisha says, thank you, Angie and Laura, for today's call. I have really resonated and benefited from everyone's questions and Angie's guidance. Good. Yeah, and it's there was a theme for the questions, which was interesting. So it was nice. It was good. All right, Angie, so I'm going to share my screen really quickly to talk about the special offer. It's available at, fingers crossed I don't get kicked out, alara.at/show/Angie9. Oh my God, I don't know what's going on with him. Just give me 1 second.
I'm so glad it's /Angie 9. I love 9, Tesla number there, 369.
All right, let me share my screen. Oh, goodness. 1 second. All right, so, all right, Angie, if you want to share a little bit about the package, that would be great. I'm just gonna go
All
with the
right,
noise.
so to start off with, there's 3 gifts. These are crystal arrays. This is a different kind of energy, and it's really kind of fun to compare, contrast the Pleiadean energy with the crystalline energy. I host a Tuesday night meditation, and sometimes we'll do both. We'll do crystalline energy and then the Pleiadian energy, and it just blows us out. It's amazing. And the crystalline energy is so clear and sharp and clean. So anybody buying packages is going to get 3 crystalline transmissions. They're amazing. I've used them to heal myself when I got, yucky things like water poisoning in India or COVID, or, they're really useful. And one of them is the self-love. So that's probably the single best crystal array I know of that is the most versatile, that we can use the most to help ascend our consciousness with. And then, so those 3 crystalline transmissions come with them, and they're about 20 minutes long, and they come with a guided meditation. They're MP4s. They're amazing.
I'm back.
So there's the self-love array. That's just amazing. My favorite one. I actually keep it on my phone. Fortuna really helps you attract abundance and stuff. And then we have a codon package that also matches that energy. So 2 different ways to receive the energy to bring prosperity and abundance into your life. And all of these crystal arrays also help heal the body. So when you go in and look at the package, you'll see a small list of the physical things that they do for the body as well. And there's actually about 2 to 3 pages of description of what these crystal arrays do, but it becomes a wall of text. So
Absolutely. So did you already talk about the package A, B, and C?
I have not. I was just talking about the free gifts.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Package
So
A.
this,
Yeah, go ahead.
So this first one, it has 10 grounding codums, and it also has a how to use them video. So we talked just a little bit about the breathing. It'll talk a little bit more just to help you to really be in the right place to receive the energies the best. So it's got some little tricks in it. And then these are the codums that are actually in there, and they're really wonderful. So somebody, the lady who was talking about all the energy swirling inside, when you get tired of feeling that, these are some of the best grounding codums that I know of. When I travel out of body or do psychic surgeries, I use these to come back into this, into my body again, and be able to do that quickly with some grace and ease, instead of just crashing back into the human experience. All right. These are for cleaning, cleansing, clearing, detoxing, eliminating your story, establishing inner sovereign peace, cutting generational and past life ties that are not relevant to this lifetime. Sometimes we carry a lot of weight from our ancestors, and this helps, remove that so we're more in our own sovereignty. Clearing things that block the love frequency. There's one for inner conflict resolution, releasing attachments that don't serve you, pushing out energies that don't serve you, being above the chaos in a high frequency shielding with heart connected to source. This is one of the best codums I know. I use this so often. It's a 9-digit codum, and I have it memorized.
Nice.
All right, number 3. These are rescue codums for regaining calm. Like if you're going to like a family event or something, some event where there's a lot of tension and stress, and normally you wouldn't choose it, but you feel a social obligation, you need to go to it. You can do these before, take them on your phone, plug your headphones in, do it during. do it after, however you want to do to keep you in that super calm, easy breezy, watery, flowy place, so that no matter what somebody says, you don't trigger on them.
Tanya needs this one.
Yeah. We all do at some point. Eventually, life finds a trigger for us at some point.
For sure. Yeah.
That's this number 4 is just a quick codem introduction and how to get the most out of them.
Yeah. So that's package A. Package A is $97, and there are 2 and 3 part payment plans available, plus, of course, my 24-hour special gift code TACS10. And then package B includes everything in package A plus 6 more transmissions, codons.
Yeah, so one for optimizing the aura and biomorphic field. We listened to just a little part of that one. Has a bunch more codems, opens all. Did we do this one? No, I think we did a different one. But this one opens all the chakras, clears your energy system, activates the power chakras, directs healing energy to where it needs to be, and clears the lymph system, directs energy towards spiritual alignment. There's a whole set of codems that balance the male and female energy, unifies them. There's the 800-year-old holiday codem, which does 10 different things, is actually one of the codems in here. There's one that balances you in any field and creates new synopsises to bring in that compelling energy of life's calling. And there's a total of 4 different codems in that one that help do that. And there's one that uplifts a biomorphic field to a higher frequency. So great package right there. That's just really moving into being prepared and doing, and just being completely centered in yourself, balanced, high, bright, sparkly energy. All right, these are powerful healing transmissions for health and wellness. You can use this one when you're sick as a part of your medicine cabinet. So there's a vibrant health codem, and for that one, you hold your hands up like this, like Spock, and energy pours in as you listen to that codem. Healing energy comes in. It's really cool. There's also codem for adrenal and overall health, one for quick healing and recovery, one that reverses the effects of our electronics and personal devices. There's one that helps structure the waters inside of you, and you're about 70% of water, and it brings it back to an artesian state. There's one for eradicating the Delta virus and all further mutants of it. There's one for the vagus nerve alignment, which makes you more resilient to trauma. There's one for coming into more bodily awareness, so that you don't do things like produce high cholesterol, etc. You're more tuned in with your body, and you know what it needs more, and can react before anything becomes an issue. So that's like a medicine cabinet set right there.
Yeah.
All right.
This is the one we listened to a little bit.
Yeah, we go. Yeah, for optimizing and enhancing the self. So yeah, beautiful. The joy codem, and then trusting yourself and acting on your inner knowledge, preventing self-sabotage, expressing your truth and integrity, prosperity, caring, and loving yourself as you love others. That's really important. Feeling confident and timeless as a human, and creating your reality from there. And alignment and synergy, fun, being in the flow. So that's like today's theme, right? That's completely what we were talking about today. All right, prosperity and abundance, great set. And this goes really well with, I would do the crystalline array, and then I would do these codems. I'd do the Fortuna and then do these. So we have aligning with, so every codem, these first ones, the energy running, this is done before receiving codems to prepare the field, and then codems for absorbing and integrating Pleiadian codems. Not everybody has that in their star lineage, and their field might be resistant. So this is a slight adjustment to help your field be able to do that. And that's why I'm not mentioning those. They're on everyone. And then the last one, which brings the codems to completion, is a wrap-up codem. So yeah, aligning with prosperity, your greatest good, greatest potential. There's one here that creates a new field that has your intentions. How do you want to manifest it? One for creating what you want and moving forward to share it as your foundation. Watch me, abundance and flow. There's a codon for bringing in the new flow patterns and resetting those old patterns. And one to help materialize and actualize your manifestation. So it's a very complete package. You can really use that one.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. And then number 9 is about love and being heart-based. Entering the heart
So
space.
it's all about coming into your heart, opening it, heart expansion, mind open, dream supporting, life's joys, heightened perception, communication of internal prosperity, joy and consciousness being reset, sensing that internal prosperity. This one, my cells recognize the frequency of love and expand that love into our philosophy so we can recognize it. So our DNA feels it and is in the memory of it constantly. It's a cellular reminder of the love frequency. This one has made some profound changes in the students in the Inner Passage Mystery School's lives. It is remarkable when your very DNA vibrates at that.
Oh, I'm sure.
There's also the
Yeah.
Jesus Codum. This is one of our favorite ones. So in the Inner Passage Mystery School, we have codum parties sometimes, and we run all of our favorite codums. We love the Jesus Codum. It's just this wonderful, glowy, loving, soft, melty, like we all just end up hugging and loving each other. You know, it's just, you just love everything. It's amazing.
It sounds amazing, yeah. And then the last one, number 6, connecting to source and higher self.
Yeah. Beautiful. And a lot of you guys are working in this area. And so this just really doubles down on that work and helps you really align to it. The correct alignment to source, it interests me how often, you know, I do this at least once every 2 or 3 months, and I can feel the shift. Like it's like getting the front end of your vehicle aligned. It's like, how did I get out of alignment? Because I can feel myself coming back into alignment again. And thank goodness for that codum, because I'd be out of alignment and wonder why I wasn't feeling that indwell spirit as much, right? Yeah, so this is a really, really good one to use, you know, before whatever your private worship practice is. Get all lined up and set up and connected. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love that one. So that's package B, right? So that's 150. Again, 2 and 3 part payment plans are available, and the 24-hour special gift code. And then package C, which includes everything plus a personal session with Angie. And so what does the personal session look like with you, Angie?
It's going to depend on the person. So come with your need. You know, I'm a healer, I'm a psychic, I'm a spiritual counselor, and I'm a teacher of the esoteric traditions. And I've even had people come and just want to be witnessed, tell their story, and have and what they have learned from the story of their life, and have their Akashic records updated. You know, so come with whatever. It's your hour. I will do my utmost best, along with all the angels and guides and the divine, to support you.
And you also give codum transmissions during that session as well that are specific to the person for whatever
Right.
it is that they require.
Yeah. I have a lot of codums at this point, and they're not all by any means in these videos. And so you may have something, let's say you're a writer and you're feeling a little blocked. We've got codums to help with that, and to also create a space where you write. We can grid that energy around to bring in high creative powers right into the space where you do your writing. It's very unique. You know, bring who you are, and I'm going to support that.
Exactly. No, it's a powerful session. That's, you know, I had a session with you before you came on the show. I mean, I had seen Angie's package somewhere. I didn't even know how I found it. And I was like, oh, let me get a session with her. And that was before I even invited her to be a guest on the show. So I, you know, like I said, I do get sessions with people all the time. And it was a healing, session with all these beautiful codons, and they were so powerful during that hour. It was amazing. I was really impressed. That's like, oh, you have to come on the show. You have to share. So so package C is also available, and again, the 24-hour special gift code and 2- and 3-part payment plans are available for all 3 packages. So please do take a look at them. Which one resonates with you? A, B, or C. With each of the packages, you get the 3 gifts. So you know that's a bonus. So again, you know, we got a taste of one of them today for like 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes or something like that, in less than 4 minutes. And that was so powerful, what you experienced in that 4 minutes. So can you imagine what you are going to experience in a personal session or with the package, right? So with these packages of all these different codums and all the different transmissions. So please do take a look at that. alara.at/show/Angie9. Sarah says, I think I will get your package. I am calmed by speaking with you. Good. By the way, my readings haven't been about what I am supposed to do. I know that I usually do work to clear my being from blocks and build health so I can work effectively. Awesome. Good. So anybody have any questions about the packages or about the codums or anything else that's coming up for you? So we have a few minutes still. So if you have a question, raise your hand or type your question in the chat. I'm just going to clear my screen here. There's something there. So anything else that you can share with us, Angie?
Yeah, I notice I'm still feeling that codum energy in my system, and it just feels lovely. And today it's coming across with a very fresh, light, sparkly feeling, which I did meditate a lot last night, but I run a lot of energy. And so that's an interesting thing about the codums is they can take you really high when you're already high. And that kind of amazes me about them.
Yeah. No, and I find that, you know, I remember when I had my session with you, that energy lasted quite a while, you know, so it wasn't just like I'm done the session and it's gone. It still lasted for quite a while. So
Yeah.
it
lasts up to 9 days, but it just depends how sensitive we are as to how much of that we're going to actually perceive, you know.
True.
5 days is quite common though.
And you mentioned in the package about some of them said do it 5 to 9 days. Some said.
Yeah. Now the crystal arrays, there's 3 of them. Those things, crystals use energy. Well, almost every form of energy in the human body uses water, like electricity uses wire. And so you'll get super, super thirsty. And there's nothing quite like crystals to do that. And so with the crystals, codums, you could actually kind of use every few days. Don't do that with crystalline energy though. It's just really powerful. It's and it's very dehydrating. It'll just make you so thirsty.
Yeah, and so that's the thing too. It's like, you know, listen to your body, right? When you are receiving the
yeah, you can get energy fatigue if you are receiving too much energy. You know, let's say the self-love array, you can do that one every day. But let's say you did Fortuna every day. By about day 3, you're going to be so energy fatigued, you're going to feel like a semi-truck hit you. So don't do that.
Yeah, true. There you go. So be gentle with yourself, right? It's always about, you know, integrating these energies, working with these energies, but sensing and perceiving how they're feeling in your body and what you need to do, right?
Yeah.
Always. It's always.
And I love the top off method, right? Like when you notice your frequency starting to go down, just top off, you know, do a crystal array or do some codums, or maybe you have something from somebody else. Just top back up, just bring yourself back up again, and just keeping that high flying place without fatiguing yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So all those things, you know, that Angie just mentioned, there are ways of self-love, self-care, self-nurturing, raising your vibration, uplifting your vibration so that you can be at that higher vibration to create and do and be who you want to be, right? And what you want to do, etc. So we need that sometimes on a daily basis, but we need that regularly, because we do get deprogrammed quite a bit, right? And sometimes it's our own minds, our own thoughts, our mindset, and what we're thinking about. Sometimes it's our fears. And for the fears, I always, if it's an old fear that has come up again, it's like I always tell myself, it's like, okay, I am not the same person I was then. The situation I'm experiencing now is not the same situation as then, and if there's another person involved, that person is not the same person as before, totally different. And you know what, I got this, right? So we have to sometimes talk to ourselves in that way, be our own cheerleaders, but also remind ourselves of how far we have already progressed from before, right? And what we experienced before is not the same as what we're experiencing now. And when you start to do that with yourself, you will, the fear will start to dissipate and you'll come back to neutral. So it's always about, when you're in fear, anxiety, anything like that, come back to neutral and then raise your vibration.
Yeah.
Right.
And the longer we can stay in those higher vibrations, the faster we evolve. So, this is the evolution of consciousness. And when we go way down in the dips, then we got to climb back out. And that's a little bit of a slowdown, so the more we can stay in those super high places and add in meditation, devotion, and reverence, the faster we evolve. It's really neat.
Take time for you, right? And so I know you're all taking time to be here with us during these programs, and I really appreciate it. I'm so grateful, so grateful. But at the same time, take some time for yourself without us, But I am grateful that you're here with us as well, and some of you are here for every show, and I so appreciate that. And you're my family, you're my tribe, you're my community, and some of you know how difficult it's been for me the past couple of years, and without you, I don't know how I would have gotten through it, right? So thank you, everybody, for being here and helping me to serve and helping me to share and helping me to bring forward some of these beautiful healers to the platform. Like, Angie is a wonderful healer, so powerful, wonderful gifts, and I'm so honored to be able to share her gifts with all of you. So yes, definitely take advantage of this program. And these new video transmissions, you're right, there's a different quality to them, Angie, than just before, when you did just the codeums and so on. And
they're full.
And
they're really full. They feel very full. Yeah,
and you don't have to watch it like I did not. I had my eyes closed, right? But I was still able to receive an experience, right?
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
just know that there's more happening behind the scenes than what we just talked about today. There's much, much, much more happening, right? So be willing to receive. Yeah. So awesome. Thank you so much, Angie. I'm so excited that
You're
you
welcome.
have brought this new dimension to your work.
Yay. And what a joy it's been to be here with all of you. I love feeling your energy. I love interacting with you. And I hope to get to interact with you one-to-one on a personal level. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to meet you. There's so many bright stars. And I know if I lived to be hundreds of years old, I would not get to meet you all. And I would love to do that. I'd love to meet you.
And so beautiful. And yes, I highly recommend, I said this on the yesterday too, but I do highly recommend the personal sessions, because you do get more deeper work and exactly what you need in the moment, right? So I love recordings and videos and all that stuff too, but with personal work, you're right there and you're doing it, right?
Well, what happens with that is field overlay. Right. So blueprints that I've been able to lock in, which are part of me, an essence of me now, there's no conflict within them. They are completely what they are. Those blueprints become available to people that are sitting in my field, which right now is all of you in my field. Right. And, so those patterns like unconditional love for self and other, I've transcended forgiveness. I don't need to forgive anybody anymore. Right. This effervescent joy, like little kid giggly kind of thing. That's a pattern I hold. Being psychic, courage. I have a tremendous amount of courage, so these become available. And if you're near that frequency, this gives you a beautiful spike. And what I've noticed with people who have picked up patterns from me is that's not something that fades off for them. They're still able to do it. I actually had somebody pick up the ability to do psychic surgery from me. That was a little awkward, but, so that's the joy of working with somebody that holds strong energies and strong patterns, is you can get an immediate upgrade that becomes yours. It becomes part of your being, especially if you'll move forward with it and practice it and use it, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. So that's an added bonus. That's a gift as well, right? So it's not just about you and what your issues are that you're bringing to the session, but it's what you're going to receive just because you're there in Angie's field and what's available for you, and you willing to receive it. So yeah, that's powerful, Angie. Thank you for sharing that. Awesome. Good. Lourdes says, amazing. Thank you very much. Sarah says, gratitude to you. Thank you for speaking with me. Oh, you're so welcome, everyone. Sally says, thank you. Lovely program. Yes, it definitely is, and so powerful. So if you can take advantage of it, please do. Right. All right. So I think we're done for today, Angie. If there's anything else coming through, we're good?
We're good.
I love being in your field, right? I'm looking, at you where you are, all the crystals and the bed there and everything. It's like, yeah, I love it because I love crystals.
Feels good, doesn't it? I love
Yes.
coming in here into the Crystal Sanctum every day. It's just like, oh, this feels so very, very good. And yeah, I'm very energy sensitive, and it's kind of like a smell in the house when you go in and it smells lovely or it doesn't smell good. I'm like that with the energy, and I'm kind of picky. Like the energy needs to be good in the places that I move my body to.
Absolutely. So Sarah says she's sending the best virtual chocolate to you.
Oh, yay.
Oh, that's beautiful. If only we could, just have virtual chocolate, virtual sugar snacks, that would be great.
Wouldn't
right? And
stick
not
to the
affect our
hips.
body.
I love it.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. All right, everyone. So
Oh, thank you.
this was wonderful. So thank you so much, everyone. It is Thursday, so I'm gonna, wish you a wonderful weekend. I will have the replay up shortly, so please do go back and watch or listen to the replay, like Manisha is going to do. And yeah, so have a great, wonderful weekend, and I will see you all next week. And thank you so much for being here with us. And thank you, Angie, so much for being here with us and sharing your wonderful gifts and abilities and talents and love. So thank you. All right, until next time, everyone, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now.